Hey guys, welcome to our episode 4 review for Star Trek Strange New Worlds. This one entitled Memento Mori. And a little note here, CBS pulled down our episode 3 because I forgot to do the adjusted
But why?
copyright thing.
We
Because
were saying, hey, go out and watch this.
I
This is
know.
actually pretty good.
I know. I didn't at the time. I didn't want to fucking have a big fucking song and dance fight. So I've re-edited it and I'm putting it at the end of this review. So that's why it appears that this review is a little longer. So we'll try to make this one a little shorter. On this week's episode, I liked it a lot. I liked it better than last week's episode. It was like a disaster film as the Enterprise comes under direct attack from the Gorn, and they have to do some clever maneuvering and problem solving, while the enemy is doing some clever things on their own as well. Now, I don't know my Star Trek lore because it's the episode where Kirk meets and fights the Gorn. You know, we parodied that, Joe. You were the Gorn and I was Kirk. I think that was supposed to be the first time the Federation met up with the Gorn. But I don't know. Maybe
Your trick doesn't count.
I don't know. It's maybe in this universe they're either changing the lore to where the Gorn have shown up earlier, or maybe it's just incursions or whatnot. I'd have to rewatch that episode to see how they mentioned the Gorn. But anyway, it doesn't fucking matter because I do think the introduction of the Gorn here as sort of a monster of the week is a great idea. It added a lot of tension to there, and Alex, you've been immediately demoted. Yeah, it's magnetic. Anyways, so just a great episode. Again, the show does a good job of kind of juggling some subplots here. This week, not only do we get the direct confrontation between Enterprise, who was on a routine run to help a planet out with their air and ended up in a life or death battle, being overmatched. And because the Gorn have some really, really dirty tactics that they employ. But due to the quick thinking of our acting number 1 taking over for Ramos's, Rebecca's character. I think her name in the show is like Leon Singe, something like that. You got your tag showing.
It's too small for him.
It's just too small for him. Anyway, she has direct experience with the Gorn in her past, and she uses that experience in order to help the Enterprise overcome this. And all the subplots I thought were pretty strong. You've got her backstory with her brother and her experience with the Gorn. She's kind of repressed a lot of her memories about the situation, thus leading to a subplot with Spock where he can mind meld with her, where they can kind of learn an answer on how the Gorn communicate with each other in order to exploit it. Pike is on full display here. He manages to scratch a few bogeys himself, along with Singe, who scratches a few bogeys with her information. It's really cool because everybody's contributing to defeating an enemy without weapons, without shields, without all this stuff, and it's just creative choices. So I thought it was really well done. And then the third side plot, or there's actually 4. The third one being the doctor helping out our number 1, who was hurt in the initial attack. She can no longer be on the bridge. She has to go to med bay. And she decides to kind of transfer her plasma. She's in danger of dying. We'll talk about the fact that we know she's not dying anyway because we've seen her in the original series.
You know what happens.
Yeah, and then the 4th subplot is between Uhura and Hemrick, I believe, the engineering Andorian guy, and they are trapped in a section of the ship, the cargo bay, with a very volatile coolant leak that they need to try to solve together. His hands are destroyed, and she acts as his hand, so they have some bonding moments there and learn from each other, and she impresses him as she was originally challenged to do at the beginning of the show. So all of the subplots pretty solid, and attention filled, and I like that there's battles. The only thing I was like, man, I wish we could have seen a Gorn. I don't know if maybe they're saving that for later on. This is episode 4 of 10, or if we will even see the Gorn again. Maybe it's just a monster of the week. What did you guys think of this particular episode?
This was another great episode. I really like all the destruction and all the like little submarine warfare that was going on.
Oh, yeah.
They had to do like little maneuvers. I like the horror elements they did in the first little scene, but I kind of hope they lean more into that.
Yeah, with the
because that was pretty fucking cool. It's like, oh, what's
cool.
going on? Like, there's all this blood, and then like it kind of evoked Resident Evil with the dog kind of popping out. I was like, hey,
Space Dobermans.
No, but I really like this episode. It's pretty good. Trying to think of something else that.
It was fucking solid. I mean, if that's what all you got, then we're good.
No, solid for me. Like,
what about Spock?
No wasted characters.
I really love Spock's performance.
Everyone's there, does their job and what they're supposed to be doing. No wasted time.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
And, man, well-written characters, you know. The women are fucking strong, independent, intelligent, and they're not just, you know everything, do everything because they're women. They're really strong characters, and they happen to be women. This is how this stuff should be depicted. A multicultural, diverse cast of characters who are all contributing, who all have strengths and weaknesses.
And this is Star Trek.
And playing with each other and sort of cooperating to have a greater whole be accomplished, a greater mission. What do you think, Alex?
I think it's probably the best episode so far. I think, I mean, I love submarine books and movies and TV shows, and so like getting to see that was great. This is also the first time that I was like, wow, they're actually using some of the science fiction stuff finally.
A lot of jargon.
There's
lost me a few times.
There's some jargon. There's plenty of it, but I mean, like this is the one I want to give them credit here because, and look, there's some kind of doo-doo stuff in here too that I'll ignore because the episode was so solid. But they're talking about like being able to triangulate people using their different systems, and it's not just I just happen to know the magical note or the stuff is actually magically in my blood and already have it. Although they did do it where her Noonien Singe's brother, when he was a food, he figured out their entire language and wrote it down and. I don't buy that for a little second.
Oh, right.
Like, it's kind of stupid, but
they know the entire language.
Yeah.
I understand a few words, but hey, you boarded my ship.
Yeah, the humans have boarded my ship and blown me up. It's like, I don't buy that for a second. But again, the episode was so solid that even I'm acknowledging it's kind of doo-doo, but it's fine. This episode was great. And it's not just there was some tension. Now, I want to talk about tension. This show has a serious fucking problem with undermining itself with tension. I know Pike's not going to die because we know Pike dies in 10 years.
Right.
I know that
Uhura's not going to die.
I know Uhura doesn't die, and they're like, "Oh, Uhura's dead." It's like, and I actually look back at him and was like, "I wonder if he's tense."
Hemrick, I can think die because we haven't seen him before.
Yeah,
but I mean, like,
don't know who's gonna.
The problem with prequels or the fact that we're like, no, fate is written, and I'm going to die in 10 years, and only they've dug themselves into this hole, and it's hurting them. And this is an episode where, honestly, if we didn't have any of this stuff, like this could be like, this could reach like TNG levels.
I agree.
But
I think it could. All episodes can get an extra point because of the lack of tension, because you know that they're not at danger in your head canon. But at the same time, simultaneously, they are benefiting from it because there's like, oh, it's easier, it's established, and these are the characters. So in my head canon, I like them more, So it hurts them while simultaneous helps them. I don't know. I honestly wish that they would just set it in a different continuity so that we can have stakes, and then maybe kill off a few major characters like Game of Thrones just to give it that tension back. But if you are limited and you have a hand tied behind your back, they are handling it well with having a hand tied.
But they tied their own hand tied by.
Like they did tie their own hand.
It's just like, I'm at a disadvantage. It's like, but you gave it to yourself, dumbass.
Right. But there's no way around it, I guess, if they wanted to do the prequel with the Pike thing.
You don't make Uhura the one in there, right? You give him a different cadet.
A different cadet.
You put different characters who we don't know live in these situations, and then they're like, oh my god, this is where the tension comes from.
Agreed. All right, let's get final verdicts.
8 for me.
Yeah.
This one I liked a little bit more than the other one. I think the other one I gave a 7. This one is an 8 for me.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm kind of hyped on this episode. I love
I liked
submarine shit so much.
yeah.
Like anything with a submarine, and it's felt like a submarine thing. I think that if
to
we're
the
gonna be try to be
basics.
rational, that I think that
Come on, Alex.
this is an 8.
An 8? No.
Yeah, I mean, I think about some of the weird things. Like, they are juggling a lot of side plots, and I think that some of them are significantly more successful than others, and I wish they fleshed out some. It's like, look, let's get rid of one of these. Let's really flesh out those other ones. Let's get rid of the, some of the little things. But I think this is great TV, and I think me being able to give something in New Trek an 8 out of 10 and consistently like that,
Never done.
I mean, this is a great thing. I'm really, really happy that they're doing so well with this show. So you get an 8.
I'll do it. I'll go to the 9. I really, really enjoyed this one for all the same reasons they did. I can enjoy it knowing that no characters on screen are going to die if it's a well enough told story, and it wasn't a well enough told story. And to be fair, they actually are killing characters. It's just unnamed characters that we don't know. Pike makes a hard decision where he has to close the bulkheads on the lower decks, which leads to the death of one of his crew members, but it was actually this other asshole's fault because he didn't help him and he ran like a coward. I wonder if they'll deal with that in a future episode. That was this other guy,
I think
probably.
it's one and
Well,
done.
that kind of shit happens.
He saved a red
I
shirt,
guess.
though. That never happens.
Yeah.
The blue shirt saved the red shirt.
The blue shirt wasn't fast enough. The red shirt guy was. Anyways, excellent episode. I didn't really do any of the whole, Pike is wondering about his fate shit, so that's left, and it was more filled with action and figuring out how to overcome the Gorn in a clever way. So 9 out of 10. Yeah, guys, it's really going well. So, like I said, episode 3 I will put at the end of this video. But before that, I just want to touch on some of the finer plot points of it. So it is Memorial Day on the ship. A futuristic Memorial Day. And they're on this routine mission. Uhura plans to impress Hemrick. Now, they do beam down officers and well-known characters onto the planet. That's for example, Starfleet Battles, the tabletop game, you're sending Marines over to the planet. Every ship has a contingent of Marines, but obviously this is something that they've done in Star Trek since the beginning because, we want to see the characters that we're invested in take place. So I'll allow it. Again, Joe mentioned this. It looked like a cool, horror massacre.
They said
creatures.
Event Horizon, right?
Well,
Did
yeah,
they
but-
even say the
yeah.
Event Horizon?
Yeah, I was like, Event Horizon.
That's not
They
the
went
goddamn.
to
I know.
hell. Right. Then they discover another ship. They hail it. They're trying to transport them over. They didn't mention that they had a transport-resistant hull. I was like, well, why don't military ships do that? So
Because they have shields, they don't need it.
It's a trap.
But anyways, it's a trap, and Leon, I don't know how to say her name. It's said in the show, but I missed it. So Leon Singe notices, oh, fuck, these are the fucking Gorn. Do this. Listen to me. And the Captain Pike is fucking awesome. He's all right. Let's do it. It's, oh, shit, she's right. So they run to the brown gas giant. And they have a car. Where's this bomb? Why is this bomb in the cargo bay? Where'd they get that? Was that just a ship thing on the ship
I think
already?
it was a ship thing that malfunctioned.
And it was going to blow
They were
up.
trying to
It's
fix
It's
it.
overheating.
Yeah.
God damn it.
it's
Why you
gonna
keep
explode.
that thing so fucking not secure? But anyways, I do like there's a tiny little moment where Pike talks to his acting number 1, Leon Singe, about her bluntness, right? She's being very blunt, being very dour, being very you're going to fucking die. The Gorn is going to kill everybody. I like the fact that they address that. And it's like look,
Chill out.
You're right. But if you chill out a little bit, then maybe the crew will feel like we can make a miracle and we can do this. But he does it in such a fucking awesome
He's got
dad
that
way.
charm.
He's like a good dad, like a fucking excellent commander, really. And she takes that into account, and you get a little mini arc. And by the end of the show, when Pike is trying to inspire his crew, she backs him up, and then the crew's like, "Yes,
Just a little badge on.
let's surf the black hole." Yeah,
On
exactly.
the Event Horizon.
Right. So I was a little annoyed at the beginning of the episode. This fucking brother character keeps popping up behind her. It's like, I get it. Yes. She sees her brother everywhere, and he's like all looking like a creepy Ezra Miller. It's like the one too many times he shows up. But then the episode does that really great cat and mouse in the gas giant. They were clever coming up with ideas to destroy these Gorn ships with no weapons, or their last weapon, they kind of drop a bomb. I'm like, wait, gravity in space is, well, they're in a gas giant, so I don't know how it works. Sure. But then the Gorn was like, motherfuckers, we
knew you were going to
do that. So we show up with 2 more ships and a larger ship. Now, I lost track of one of the ships. So there's 3 small Gorn fighters, and then there's the large fighter. They destroyed one of them with a photon torpedo by dropping it. They destroyed one by
crushing it.
One imploded to gravity.
That's the one.
One crushed it,
Got
and then the
it.
other one, they're like, hey, somebody infiltrated your ship.
Infiltrated, so the
Beep,
big
beep,
one
beep.
shoots the small one.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, got it. And that's where we get the side mission where it's like, okay, they're still fucking relentlessly pursuing us. Let's dive. And that crushes one because it continues to follow. They exploit a weakness. I'm like, aha.
It's that
Yeah.
sub shit right there.
I love it. And then Lian Singe takes initiative, says, look, you don't need to put anybody else's life at risk. I will go on a shuttle, and I will kind of peek to see if we're safe, if the big ship is left. And Spock says, I will go with you. Which, if we know, then immediately makes them invulnerable because Spock survives. But anyway, still like it. I really liked the updated retro tech in the shuttle, that they kept that. You see? Did you see that black orb?
That's what I was thinking.
It's so
Sometimes I
stupid
kind of
looking in the original.
I kind of want them to do like
Do that retro?
with like some little tweaks.
There's a
Well,
wheel.
this
I
is
want
a great
Yes.
compromise.
a wheel on the wall where someone's in there just like
Just turning in.
Yeah, it was a great compromise that they still
looking
have
at the
that little
wall.
stupid thing that they're looking through, and they also did that as well. The submarine thing that Spock looks through, he does that throughout the show as well, at different times. So I just love that. I just wanted to mention that. So, anyways, they scan him and then they blow up that guy. Or no, they're looking for them. Anyways. They, despite the great cooperation between Uhura and Hemrick, they are unable to get this coolant leak fixed, and they just said, well, fuck it, we need to vent it out to space. They have a great scene where the Andorians say, like, we don't fear death because it's like, we have purpose in life. My purpose is to fix things. What's your purpose? And Uhura's like, I still don't know yet. Said, well, maybe that means I'm not going to die. Because I know
we know you're not going to die.
Yeah, we know you're not going to die. So they vent it out, and they hook themselves to the bridge hull, and one starts to break apart, but I don't know who saves who, but he grabs her. I'm gonna.
Well, it's got to be her grabbing him because his hands don't work. It has
That's
to.
right.
Be,
Yeah, it's her grabbing him.
One does.
And and then they do one last thing. They want to. Pike said another great, clever line because there's good writing here. Snakes, dogs, and possums. They play dead. So they choose a plan to play dead. They're going to fly close to the black hole, and he is confident that the Enterprise will hold together. That's when Leon supports his sentiment. If they say, if they pull this off, this is going to be the Pike maneuver. So now we know what the Pike maneuver is. We never knew a Pike maneuver. It was the first time it's mentioned because we've got the
Okay,
Picard maneuver. We've got the Kobayashi Maru. And now we have
What's
the
the
Pike
other one?
maneuver.
The Star Wars one.
She pulled a holdo. She pulled a fucking.
Why don't we try the holdo maneuver? It's like because it's stupid.
Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Never happened. The Emperor has somehow returned. Shut up. Anyways, the crew is challenged in their most direct way in a direct attack. I really like this episode. They toss the bomb out. They vent the bomb. The bomb explodes. The Gorn think they've exploded in the black hole, so then they exit. And they do play a little cheap here. The thing at the end is like, give me engineering. So they show engineering, or the cargo hold, rather, and the camera can't see them. So he's like, he calls out to him, Uhura, and nobody answers. And Pike thinks Uhura and Hemrick are dead because they don't answer. And then he's like, all right, send a cleanup crew. Hey, we are here. But it's like, why didn't you answer, motherfucker? It's like they take forever to answer, and then they
You're
answer.
like, wait, just wait, just wait. They're gonna miss us.
Should have been, motherfuckers. That's actually what happened.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends with a personal log from Leanne. So I like how in the previous Star Treks it's all the captain log every fucking time. It's just the captain and nobody gets to hear. So as a unique spin on this series, it's from different crew members. It's personal log, it's captain's log, it's officer's log. I like that. She mentions that 7 crew members have died. Ties in together with the theme of the episode, the memorial and the mementos. And she does her, she's got her piece with her brother, and she puts on the little badge. 9 out of 10 for me. Really great episode.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's it for this one, and I will be plugging in episode 3, so I'll title this episode 3 and 4 reviews. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Hey guys, welcome to our review of Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode 3 of 10. This one called Ghosts of Illyria. And we have another solid episode, in my opinion. It really kind of Planet of the Week. It evokes some of the old school storytelling. You got some an interesting problem of a disappeared sort of outcast race that tried to join the Federation. You got a mystery there. You got some transporter troubles. Number 1, which was kind of a character you would see mostly in the background in the original Star Trek series with Captain Kirk and William Shatner, is kind of brought to the forefront here. You get a little bit of her backstory and what makes her tick. And then a few other crew members are featured here. The episode does a good job of kind of fleshing out more of the crew members. This one in particular with the Doctor and Leon, who is confirmed. Alex noticed this earlier, that her name was Khan Noonien Singe, or something Noonien Singe, right? Yeah. Leon Noonien Singe, which would make her a descendant of Singe. Khan! But I think it's...
know what we're talking about. It's fine.
He knows Khan. You know Khan. But it's so, I don't know. It's kind of stupid that she keeps that last name. You thought that she would keep it under wraps, especially since she says she's been made fun of it for her whole life and called a monster. I'm surprised that she keeps it because he literally was a monster. So I don't understand. That's like your last name is, I don't know, you're a descendant of Adolf Hitler and you wanted to continue the legacy of Hitler.
That's what your parents named you after. It's like, why would you name me that?
Do that?
Man, fucking
why? Just change your name. You could do that legally in courts, and nowadays, I'm sure you can in the future as well. But overall, a good episode. A little bit stretch. They're stretching a little bit in certain places, especially with diseases that I don't quite buy.
It's
towards
tradition.
The end of the episode. I know,
it's Star Trek tradition.
But what did you guys think?
I thought, like you, it was another solid episode, but it was a little bit weak. I felt like it was kind of dragging on for a little bit too long.
Okay.
That might be just the way I feel, but I thought
Yeah.
it was a
No, I agree.
little too long. Maybe if it would
I
have been
don't.
like
I liked it.
shorter episode, I wouldn't have minded as much. But
Mhm.
just the runtime, it was big for me, but it kind of lost me a little bit. But
Okay. Do you know about where it lost you? Which subplot you weren't quite into?
It's like everyone's getting infected. Okay, I get that, and then from then on out, I guess.
From after everybody got infected.
Everyone got infected.
Okay. What about you, Alex?
I think this is still the best of New Trek. And I think this show is solid, and I definitely have a lot of issues with this episode. And it's I'm seeing this fits the formula.
Everybody had cool leather jackets.
I love me a leather jacket, right? It's super solid. I love the Planet of the Week. It's following the formula. Everything's kind of working. But here again, they resolve everything in such a weird, non-Star Trek, kind of like hand-wavy sort of way. Oh no, it's in my blood and can cure you off screen. It happened last week. And it happened this week.
Yeah.
And if they keep...
It's real quick.
And it's super quick, and it almost feels completely...
And I missed it. I was about to, like, Alex, can you explain this to me? Because what just happened? But I got it towards the end. They explained
They
it.
kind of explained it, but they did that last week too. And I don't want this to be a recurring thing with the show. It's like, look, you set up a really cool premise. I'm in. I like this planet. I like the idea. I need one line in the beginning of this where they're on the planet. Go, holy shit, Captain! The Ionic Storm is way ahead of schedule. Freak accident. Because you're Starfleet, you're on the flagship. Maybe you don't leave your captain and everyone, your first mate, and your landing party to die on a planet because you wanted to be there for 30 more seconds. Give me one line to kind of explain that. Kurt's fucking give me one.
It went too quick.
Yeah, just be like, hey, the storm is on a freak path, and then I'll be fine. But again, it's just they're setting everything up. We're getting my excitement there, and then they go, oh, it's fixed now. It's like, well. Can we focus on like the ingenuity and actually overcoming the problem rather than just be it's like, oh, my blood cures the problem, it's over. So
yeah, I thought it was solid. I didn't mind its length. I liked it. We had some different problems to be solved on different areas. The fact that Captain Pike and Spock were essentially in a single room the whole episode reminds me of the original classic TOS. They didn't have a big budget, so there was a lot of hallway room talking, a lot of ready room talking, stuff like that. And this was that. And the writing is strong enough to support it. The mysteries are interesting enough. It turns out that this genetically enhanced race, which in Star Trek lore, there's something called the eugenics wars, where humanity tried to augment themselves. A period of our history, we tried to make ourselves super soldiers and stuff, right? The natural evolution of humanity, but it went out of control, and you got people like Khan. So that's why you got a little bit of that. And so eventually the good guys won, and all of that stuff was outlawed, and there's still maybe a handful of super soldiers out there, one of which was Khan that showed up later on. But, and this kind of touches on that because they don't really allow other races who are genetically modifying themselves into the Federation. How progressive of you, Starfleet, judging people and stuff like that. But this race actually was trying to, at least a segment of them was trying to genetically engineer themselves back to normal baseline so that they could join, which ended up fucking themselves over because they had inherent immunities which would have helped them in this particular instance. And it's kind of played as a monster of the week where Pike and Spock are under attack by these light beings, the ghosts of Illyria, right? But they end up saving them because the glass breaks and the storm overtakes, and they probably would have been hit by a bunch of debris, but the ghosts sort of protect them and then kind of float off and leave. So they're benevolent beings, which was cool. And then on the ship, you've got this virus spread, which this is where it kind of fucking falls apart a little bit, here and there, in the logic. But I still like it because overall it's strong. They do lockdown procedures way too late. It's like they beam on board and these things start happening to the away crew members. But nobody mentions, maybe we should go on lockdown, maybe I should go on lockdown. No. Later on, they institute the level 5 lockdown.
we don't know it's spreading, so we should isolate everyone on the away team. Except for you, acting captain. You can talk to anyone and go spread to everyone.
It's like yeah. So that's a little problems in logic there. But I thought a good kind of monster story on the planet, a good kind of lockdown procedures.
Yeah, I think it should be the cure for it, because she actually got it and was like, all right, it's gone. Okay, well, they're going to use her.
So it's revealed that she is an Illyrian, which is this race that could not join the Federation. So she had actually lied. How Starfleet didn't notice, or that doesn't make sense. Like, Starfleet doesn't scan people.
Are you Illyrian? No.
Right, no.
There you go.
Okay, you're entered into Starfleet.
Come on in.
Sort of like my grandpa lied about his age to get into, the military, but then they were like, yeah, just come in anyway. They were.
Are you sure?
I guess there was a period during Starfleet's history when they didn't give a shit. But you have to kind of suspend your disbelief there, because I think Starfleet would be pretty thorough and not letting people in, because there'd be tons of spies and tons of bad actors and shit. But okay. Anyways, we'll allow it. And essentially, she's got to be the one that saves everybody, as everybody's very attracted to light. They'll even hurt themselves. At one point, we have the engineering guy, Hemrick, who is sarcastic hard ass. In fact, he's got his engineer guys so fucking trained that all he has to do is snap his fingers and they get to doing whatever they need
That's
to do.
who you want running the ship. Like, that's who you want in charge of engineering.
I knew Alex would like the sarcastic hard ass.
Well, it's just like that. Like, seriously, like, if the guy who's in charge of making sure you all stay alive, like that, you want him to be able to snap his fingers.
You want him to run a tight ship and like shit is serious down there.
I think after this scene,
there was a lot of really.
They get the core because you want to light knocks him out. After this scene,
I thought that was really cool, and I was like, "Holy shit! How the fuck?" So at one point he goes crazy too, and he's trying to transport a portion of the core onto the ship, which I thought was fascinating because he's using his intelligence in a stupid way. And then she could actually like lift him up. I wonder if she has that strength all time, or is it because she was boosted by?
No, it's because the Illyrian. That's how they're like. How the fuck are you carrying that guy like that? I guess so. It's she's a super.
So she's like that at all times. So we do have a little bit of a strong Data, or she's probably as strong, maybe stronger than Spock. That's interesting. I like that they flesh out this character because we never they even gave her a name on the last episode. I think it's Una, because she never had a name. She was just number one in the original series where she comes from. But anyways, so it's just fascinating. And then there was even some intrigue with the Doctor. The Doctor is like messing around with the lights. He's like, "See, you fucked up the lights. Get out of here." Because the engineering guy's trying to figure out what's going on, and he's doing his level 5 diagnostic. And you're like, wait a minute, the Doctor did that on purpose. What's going on? He's hiding something. And it turns out that the reason why this whole fucking thing spread is because the Doctor is an idiot. I mean, he basically is keeping his daughter alive via a transporter signal, which I didn't know you could do. I mean, plenty of Star Trek episodes has stuff like this, right? But the reason why is because she has cancer? And so he wants to preserve her until he can find a cure for cancer. But I was like, excuse me, I think cancer was cured by now in the Star Trek universe, because I don't know. Maybe it's early Starfleet where they don't yet have that particular.
I think
cancer.
they do. I think they just this is a specific disease where it is whatever.
Okay.
My issue is
maybe it went, the actual name of the cancer went over my head.
But we also do know at this period of time. I'm almost positive, but you'll let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure we have stasis, and you can just put them in fucking stasis. And so you could just do it that way. And
otherwise, everybody would be in a transporter signal because, of course, if you desperately love somebody, you're going to use anything to keep them alive.
Yeah. I mean, like, one of the failing. It's not even the failing of the show. It's like one of the little nitpicks I have about it is, I get that we just like literally last week we established like the Prime Directive, but like everyone is so bad at their job here. Like I'm lying to get into here. I'm secretly this person, and then like everyone's breaking all the fucking rules, and it's such a weird departure from like what I'm used to in like the good Trek, where they're not constantly like shitting on the Prime. They're not trying to show the Prime Directive.
See, I'm in opposition to that because I think the Prime Directive is so fucking stupid, and they're constantly breaking the Prime Directive in all the other series that this fits right in. And I don't look at the Prime Directive as like the fucking Bible, like season 1 of the Next Generation, where Picard's willing to have genocides go on, so as long as they stay out of it.
I'm in the mindset, if you're cool, you can join. Fuck it.
Well, yeah, it's less on that. I don't mean specifically the Prime Directive. I mean like the rules in general. Like the Doctor, it threatened the flagship of the entire Federation and everyone on board.
And what was his excuse? I didn't know it would do that. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, what do you mean you didn't know? Are you an idiot?
Well, so that's what I mean. Everyone in this series seems to be so willing to like, oh no, I'm special. I get to break all the rules, and it's like that seems like a kind of a big departure from what I'm used to. I have to go back and watch, but I don't think people are willing to like endanger.
Yeah, I don't buy it that he would put everybody in danger. I mean, and then he actually didn't know that every time somebody transports from a planet, the thing that they need to filter out any diseases was something that he broke because he tried to keep his daughter.
That's how I felt too, because like I just stick to one plot. Yeah. All right, don't go branching off. Like this is just episodic. Just keep it simple, and that's it.
I disagree with that because I do like subplots going on.
I like some of them
with the but you thought that particular one was a bridge too far.
Yeah, I think there's a couple bridges too
and
far.
I can see that.
The engineering guy trying to warp in the piece of the mantle, and followed by the chief security officer trying to break the warp core. It's literally the same scene.
Yeah.
There is really no point to have both of them be there, other than.
I get it. You really love the light.
Yeah.
Again, I have to be the one that I disagree, because if everybody has a compulsion to do that, they are going to do something similar. And so it just so happened that one of them was free, and then the other one broke free in order to do something similar, because they're all looking for the light. So whatever way they need to get the light. And in that scene, it was more a vehicle for the prejudices to rear its head, because as she stops her, because it's clearly written in a way where they have a interpersonal conflict, because she could have just, oh shit, we're going the warp core. She just walks up, bam, and hits her from behind, and because like 20 feet away, and it's fine. And all you have to do is set it to stun, and you got her. But no, she's got to walk up. What are you doing? Like literally behind her. And then a fight happens, and it's so that the girls can fight and then say, yeah, you're an augment, you fucking augment, prejudice against
People
you.
bullied me too.
And then I like how she just knocks her the fuck out. Shut the fuck up.
You can have that scene, but we don't. I didn't feel we needed the engineering scene, and then the guy smashing his face against the light scene. So like, we don't have to show all of them. It's like we get it. It just.
I liked it. I do think we need it. I don't need one scene and then we never see anything else. Then we'll be saying, well, I'd like to see the crew. I'd like to see the effect on the crew more. But okay, different things for different people. Mm-hmm. So, what did you guys? Let's give final verdicts. So, for this particular episode,
I'm still like up above. I'm at a 7.
Yeah,
still a great episode. Like I said, there's some subplots and some little nitpicks on.
Yeah, me too.
But other than that, I'm still enjoying it.
Okay. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I think this is a 7. I think it's. I mean, ultimately, it feels like a little bit dumbed down Star Trek, but I still like it. I think it still fits the formula, kind of fits things, and it's so much better than everything that I've been seeing in New Trek. Yeah. That again, this is if you want to watch any sort of New Trek and you've already seen all the old stuff and you don't want to go revisit, then this is the series to watch. Don't watch any of the other stuff. They're doing better here, and I hope that the things that I'm seeing now, like I'm starting to see little cracks around the edges that kind of go away, and it was just like a two episodes in a row. As far as just them, it's like, oh, it's resolved.
Yeah, a little, this one more interpersonal, more crew stuff, little less space stuff. Though the space shots we get are incredibly beautiful. You get the opening with the planet, and you have this massive storm, and then towards the end, when number 1 is deleting our log entries, you get this beautiful cosmic galaxy behind them, this nebula that looks amazing, as the doctor sort of tells a story to his daughter with cancer. But okay, so we've got the doctor character, and he's like, okay, well, you guys got to go to prison now, so... and she's like, no, I don't care. In fact, I'm going to create a power source just for your doctor so that we can keep, or just for your daughter so that we can keep her alive for you, doctor. And then she also turns herself into Captain Pike, admits to him and reveals to him that she is an Illyrian, that she lied, and she resigns. And he goes, no.
I don't care.
I don't care. I'm going to protect you. We'll come to that.
I don't care. Ship.
Yeah.
No, there ain't no rules.
There ain't no rules because he knows when he's going to die and he's going to fuck. It's like, Starfleet can't do shit to me because I know that I don't die via Starfleet. But no, obviously the writer reasons is, you know, they love each other, that they're a tight-knit crew, and there's certain things that they'll forgive because it's the right thing to do, which is the kind of moral of the story and the point of Star Trek is if it's the right thing to do, doesn't matter whether there's a bunch of rules against it, you break them if it's the right thing to do. Alright guys, so it's still going well, still Planet of the Week, Monster of the Week, episodic, which is what we like, and this is a good series that I continue to recommend to you guys if you've not seen Star Trek, or if you have seen Star Trek. This is satisfying for fans. Spread the word for it, and we're going to support some stuff like this to let them know this is the kind of stuff that we like to see. So, alright guys, so it's been going well, and we will see you on the next AngryJoe show. Bye guys.